Hello YouTube, hello YouTube, hi everyone, and welcome back to the Slopcast. Now, there is a lot we could talk about today. There's an actual war going on right now outside, but I don't want to talk about none of that. I want to talk about the current state of the internet and what is happening behind closed doors. By closed doors, I mean behind these big ass data centers that they are building everywhere. Now, if I told you that the internet currently is 70% bot traffic, would you believe me? I mean, we have the proof and the metrics to prove it. You should believe me because there's no point in lying about something like this. 80% of the content that you interact with right now on a day-to-day basis on any social media platform, half of it is made by AI. The other half is made with the assistance of AI. And then a small portion of it is solely made without any human interference at all. Now that is getting kind of scary, guys. They're implementing like techniques and things we have never seen before. We've seen bot farms. We've seen it. That's not something that's, a new thing. We've had bot farms for a couple of years now, but now we're at the level where there are, I'm not saying names, but companies buying out entire multiple story warehouses and turning them into bot farms for whatever service or person wants to buy that service. This is getting really dystopian. I want to let you know how easy it would be to spread misinformation, yellow journalism, meme tech warfare, and spamouflage in the upcoming years. It's going to be more easier to spread misinformation than to find actual factual facts on the internet here shortly. Now, everyone dogs on Wikipedia because Wikipedia is a platform that allows anyone to go up there and edit anything. But guys, the one thing I like about Wikipedia is it doesn't allow for AI input. So everything on Wikipedia is human source, and also causes for another major reason why this is not good. We have noticed, and I personally noticed because I've been doing some research on, the current things going on in America and, the files and things like that. And I have actual proof that while I was doing research for some of these things, going back and logging into some of these websites, information was actively being scrubbed. Okay, this creates a very this creates a very scary situation where once the people who knew this information before it was scrubbed off the internet is gone, that information will no longer be available to anyone. This is how they hide the truth. This is how they pick and choose what certain narratives they want to make it through history. A lot of the stuff in history books that we, read growing up, a lot of it was, I don't want to say fake, but it was highly exaggerated to make one side look better than the other, right? I was born in the early 2000s. I grew up at a time where when we went to school, the first thing we did was sing the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? We're now at a time where most kids don't even know what the Pledge of Allegiance is. And I don't blame them. I don't blame anyone for anything that's going on right now. We are all very, very confused. No one knows what side we want to be on. Back to the purpose of what I was saying. I went to school in the early 2000s, Pledge of Allegiance, all that extra stuff. I was basically indoctrinated and brainwashed into thinking that Western democracy and primarily the United States of America has always been the good guys. I am now understanding in my late 20s that has not always been the case. I mean, yeah, there are certain things where we've needed to intervene for I want to say the greater sake of Americans and not humanity, but now I feel like we're just on a terror campaign. Like we're really just saying, "Oh, we won't bet," and then we doing it like with no like. Man, it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain right now. I know. I just come up here and yap about anything with any narrative, or most of the time no narrative, and when I come up here half the time I'm barely coherent anyway. This is really just a platform for me to yap and get out my kind of tense opinions with the least amount of backlash because I don't really have a platform on this platform. No one watches these videos. I solely do these videos now just to vent about shit I don't like. I don't expect anyone to come up here and clip this and then, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is for me to just honestly come up here and yap about things that I don't like. And one thing I do not like right now is the current state of the internet. It is a huge problem. It is a huge issue that no one is seeing to take a actual stance against. Another thing, but like my stance on AI, I really hate generative AI. Unless you are someone who is using AI as a utility or as a tool, there's no fucking use for it, bro. And I know this video isn't gonna get monetized anyway, so I'm cursing now. After the 5 minute mark, mods are gone anyway. But realistically, we have these people who are pouring their all into these AI agents and models, and they don't even know their names, bro. Do you know how dystopian this is? That most people now go to Chat GPT to answer questions and ask for advice. When I was little, that was Google, bro. Like, Google was the guy for that. Now, there's like in a couple of years of Alphabet C doesn't do anything, I don't even think there will be a Google. And that's not even me being parabolic. That's like the actual reality of the way things are going, bro. You got to keep in mind, I grew up when I was told monopolies are bad. Now, 2026, that's all we got is monopolies. You rather support the mega conglomerate or the mega monopoly. There's no in between, guys. There really is. Even our now small independent mom and pop stores are being bought out by private equity and no one's saying anything. It was really concerning when last year I read that BlackRock was buying most of the single family zoned unit homes in America and selling them for a crazy profit. It was a talking point for a month and then everyone forgot about it, but they're still doing it behind closed doors. It's very hard to explain to people why most people in Gen Z are in the position that they are in. There is no such thing as an American dream no more. There is no such thing as working towards past progression. Like, most of us are yearning for the void. Most of us are yearning for the urn. Like, we don't even have real purpose anymore. Well, not me, but most people feel so purposeless in this current state that we're in. And a lot of it has to do with these fucking bots, bro. You got these bots and these bot farms that are going and just spreading the most insane rhetoric, and these kids are believing it. They're not fact checking this stuff. If they see something and it has 10K likes, they'll take it as factual information and not verify any of their resources, which in the future becomes very dangerous because we'll have a lot of politically and media illiterate people trying to make very, 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 I want to say prominent decisions. We're now at a point where, yeah, Gen Z will be the next level of politicians. Whatever happens after this is kind of like the end.